Imagine a world without music players, a time when the only way to hear your favorite tune was to either play it yourself or be in the presence of someone who could. That was the reality until the late 19th century. This was the era before the birth of the first music player, the phonograph, a revolutionary invention by Thomas Edison in 1877. The phonograph was a marvel of its time, a device that could record and replay sound. It worked on a simple yet ingenious principle. A sheet of tin foil was wrapped around a cylindrical drum. When someone spoke or sang into the mouthpiece, the sound vibrations would cause a stylus to etch a groove in the foil, capturing the sound. To replay the sound, all you had to do was turn the cylinder and the stylus would follow the same groove, recreating the sound. This was a game changer. Music, once a fleeting pleasure, could now be captured and replayed at will. It was no longer limited to concert halls or parlor rooms. The phonograph brought music into people's homes. It democratized music, making it accessible to everyone, not just the privileged few who could afford live performances. The impact of the phonograph on society was profound. It changed the way we consume music and set the stage for the music industry as we know it today. It paved the way for mass production and distribution of music. It also sparked a cultural revolution. Music became a part of everyday life, an integral part of social gatherings, and a powerful medium of expression. The phonograph was the first step in a long journey of technological advancements that have shaped the music industry. From vinyl records to cassette tapes, CDs, MP3 players, and streaming services, each step has revolutionized the way we listen to music. The phonograph changed the world of music, making it accessible to the masses, but it was just the beginning of a fascinating journey. Fast forward to 1887, when Emil Berliner introduced the gramophone, a device that would dominate the music industry for nearly a century. This was a time when the world was embracing the power of sound recording and playback like never before. Up until then, Thomas Edison's phonograph was the leading device for sound recording and playback. The phonograph used a cylindrical storage medium, but Berliner's gramophone brought a significant change to the table. It used a flat disc. This seemingly simple modification opened new horizons in the world of music. The gramophone records, also known as disc records, were easier to produce and distribute than phonograph cylinders. They also allowed for mass production, which was a game changer. For the first time, music became widely accessible to the public, making it a universal language that connected people from different walks of life. The gramophone was not just a machine, it was a symbol of democratization in the music industry. It made music a part of daily life, bringing joy to homes, dance halls, and public spaces around the world. The gramophone era was a period of transformation, a time when music began to play a more prominent and influential role in society. In addition to this, the gramophone records were more durable and could hold more music than their cylindrical counterparts. This meant that longer pieces of music could be recorded and enjoyed without interruption, enhancing the overall musical experience. During this era, the music industry saw a surge in creativity and diversity. In the mid-20th century, music took to the streets with the invention of portable music players. The 1950s saw the birth of the transistor radio, a compact device that used cutting-edge transistor technology instead of the larger, more cumbersome vacuum tubes. This technological leap forward made radio small enough to fit in your pocket, and for the first time ever, people could take their music with them wherever they went. The transistor radio became an instant hit, transforming public spaces with the sound of rock and roll, jazz, and the latest news. It was a social phenomenon that brought people together, turning parks, beaches, and backyards into hubs of shared musical experiences. 2 decades later, in the 1970s, another game changer hit the scene: the Walkman. Invented by Sony, this portable cassette player took the music experience to a whole new level. Unlike the transistor radio, the Walkman was a personal device. It came with headphones, allowing users to immerse themselves in their favorite tunes without disturbing others. The Walkman gave birth to the concept of a personal soundtrack. You could now walk down the street, ride a bus, or relax in a park, all while listening to your own curated collection of songs. For the first time in history, music became an intimately personal experience, a constant companion that could accompany you on your daily adventures. These portable music players, the transistor radio and the Walkman, revolutionized the way we listen to music. They made music a personal and portable experience, liberating it from the confines of the living room. They transformed music from a shared communal experience into a personal journey, an individual adventure. The age of personal music had dawned, but the best was yet to come. As we entered the 21st century, the music industry was about to be disrupted by digital technology. It began with the emergence of MP3 players. These pocket-sized devices, capable of storing thousands of songs, were a game changer. All of a sudden, music was portable in a way it had never been before. You could carry an entire library of songs in your pocket, and the concept of being limited to a few dozen tracks on a CD was suddenly outdated. The most iconic of these devices was, of course, the iPod. Launched in 2001 by Apple, this sleek, user-friendly device quickly became the symbol of digital music. With its iconic click wheel and white earbuds, the iPod was more than just a music player. It was a cultural phenomenon. But it wasn't just the hardware that changed. The shift to digital music also transformed the way music was distributed and consumed. Suddenly, buying music didn't mean going to a store and purchasing a physical object. It meant downloading a file from the internet. This led to the rise of online music stores like iTunes, which allowed users to legally purchase and download individual songs or whole albums directly to their devices. This was a huge shift in the music industry. It meant that artists could reach their audience directly, cutting out the middleman, and for listeners, it meant unprecedented access to music. No longer were they limited by what was available in their local music store. They could explore and discover music from around the world, all from the comfort of their own homes. But this shift was not without its challenges. Issues of piracy and copyright infringement became rampant, as it was now incredibly easy to copy and distribute music illegally. This led to a lot of debate and controversy, and the music industry had to adapt to survive. The digital revolution had changed the game, but there was another player waiting in the wings. Today, we're living in the age of streaming, where we have access to millions of songs at our fingertips. The dawn of the streaming era has radically transformed our relationship with music. Streaming services like Spotify and Apple Music emerged as game changers, revolutionizing the way we consume and discover music. No longer do we need to buy individual albums or songs. Instead, for a monthly fee that's less than the cost of a single CD, we can dive into an ocean of music spanning genres, eras, and continents. This shift towards digital streaming has also democratized music in unprecedented ways. It's not just about the listener's freedom to choose, but also about artists gaining the ability to share their music with the world. These platforms have become launchpads for independent artists, offering them the chance to reach audiences they could only have dreamed of in the pre-streaming era. Streaming services have also made music discovery effortless. Algorithms and curated playlists introduce us to new songs and artists based on our listening habits. We're not just passive listeners anymore, we're explorers on a never-ending journey through the universe of music. But the streaming era isn't without its challenges. Issues around fair compensation for artists and the dominance of a few major platforms have sparked debates about the sustainability and ethics of this model. Yet despite these hurdles, the appeal of streaming services remains strong, with their user base growing each year. So where does this leave us? We've journeyed from the phonograph's single crackling track to the endless expanse of music that streaming services offer. We've seen music become portable, then digital, and now virtually omnipresent. From the phonograph to streaming services, the evolution of music players has been a fascinating journey. And who knows what the future holds? As technology continues to evolve, so too will our ways of experiencing music. We can only imagine what exciting developments await us in the next chapter of this incredible story.